Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's going to be a little bit of an interesting format today. I am going to code and hopefully have a little bit of a slower format so that you guys can get a little bit of an understanding on how exactly I code. Maybe it'll help you in understanding how you should code as well. We're going to be doing some context switching today. So context switching is when you switch in between projects and you need to catch up with understanding how a particular project works. I'm not necessarily context switching from a different project, but I am context switching from not working on this project for about a week or so. I was sick for about a week, and honestly, I don't remember much about the exact progress of where I stopped. I know that I'm currently in the middle of writing Android specific code because we were at a point where we needed to write logic, particularly um, within an Android um, device. And eventually, when we're done with that, we'll also have to do the same thing for iOS specific devices. So hopefully that'll go well. I don't think it'll take me too long to catch back up. I remember in the last session that I did, I was writing an entire design doc. So um, this will be a little bit of a different format. Hopefully you guys like it, and it'll be a little bit longer since these will just straight up be um, footage from the coding sessions that I do instead of a time lapse. And hopefully that also means that there's more for you guys to learn. If you're new to the channel, my name is Joemer. I am a Google software engineer, and this is my life after work. So the projects that I work on and things that I code, and currently we are coding my productivity mobile app. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and um, we'll see how long that fun lasts. It's been a bit of a headache, um, because the whole reason why I um, wrote this code in Dart and in the Flutter framework is so that I wouldn't have to duplicate code. And now I have to do that with platform specific code. And so I don't think I think it was very naive for me to try and take this approach where I would never have to jump into platform specific code. Um, but yeah, I mean, here I am. So I want to do something very like specific to each platform, which is to get the list of apps or installed apps. And obviously, you can't do that through the Flutter framework right now. It's currently not a feature. And so you have to dive into each specific platform and use the APIs tailored for each specific platform in order to do that. So right now we're working on Android. The Android structure for that. We wrote a design doc, and hopefully I can find it. I don't, okay, found it very quickly. So organization at its best. And yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. I am very happy that I decided to write everything down before I ended up getting sick. It's important times like this where I think documenting is super important, not just um, to relay the information to other people, but also just for yourself. Like I would have just forgot all of this information here, and now I have it written down, and um, I will go through it a little bit here, but essentially the idea is to take. Oh, there's a fly. Where'd it go? I killed it. I'm sorry for all the fly lovers, but sorry, it was driving me crazy. Um, the idea behind this is to use these things in Android called intents and permissions in order to access um, access the app list, and then also to allow certain permissions that we need from a user in order to gain access to other pieces of user data, such as such as usage time and the ability to show overlays in front of other installed apps. So, for example, we need to record or not record. We need to detect how long a user has spent time on an installed app, and we also need to block certain apps when that time is up. And so there's currently not an API in Android right now to use the screen time API that is seen in Android phones, which is very interesting. But it also means that Android applications across the board have taken an interesting approach where they don't actually block the app using screen time APIs right now. They'll ask for overlay permissions and they'll just put an overlay over other apps to say like, hey, you've been blocked from this app. So it's a very cool, interesting workaround that developers have done, and also it's not very well documented. This was just like something that I noticed after downloading apps that have a similar use case and seeing what they did. Um, I've also sent emails out to some of those developers and didn't hear anything back, but that's totally okay. Um, but yeah, I'm going to try to get back into it. I'm still a little bit on the tail end of being sick, so we'll see how much work we can get done here. Um, but other than that, I'll try to speak as much as I can while I'm coding and while I'm investigating to fill in the dead space and obviously to help you guys learn a little bit more. Yeah, so this is pretty much what I wrote before. So I wrote the following things are needed in order to lay the groundwork for app list generation. One, I need to understand what are intents and intent activities. And I wrote down that intents are messages sent between apps. Intent activities is a special type of intent that is used to start an activity. So the android.intent.action.main action is a special action that indicates that the intent is requesting the entry point of an application. And then two, I need to understand how permissions work. I did a little bit of that already. I remember that. I was playing around with it. Um, Essentially, the way to play around with Android permissions is you need to jump into Android Studio and go into your manifest XML file, which I'm still not sure what a manifest XML file does. Um, and you need to just manipulate values there um, to be tailored toward specific permissions. Um, and then three is to open up permission settings, which is like, I guess this is like a summary, I guess, of what I need to eventually do with permissions. Um, and then I talk about the workaround of no screen time API here. Yeah, it seems like most apps don't actually block access to the app, which is what screen time does. If you notice it on Apple devices, or if you just use the screen time mode on Android, they have a different way of blocking apps, and other third-party apps don't actually do that. They allow overlaying on Android. On Apple, I'm pretty sure there's a way to actually block the apps. But of course, I have to wait on that. Let's see what I wrote here. This is a little bit interesting. I talk about the entry points that a user can enter a potentially blocked app, which is important to know, like, in what scenarios we need to block the apps in. And then, oh, this is the list of blocked apps. So this is essentially when we get the list of blocked apps, we need to um, we need to mark them as blocked or unblocked. So let's see here. Whoops. So I say we can reach into our Flutter app and local cache when we want to check the list of blocked apps to see if an app is currently blocked for any reason. We would check this list when we receive a request, whether from within the app or from a user entering a potentially blocked app. Yeah, that makes sense. The first scenario can be dealt with a normal listener. Oh, okay. So I start talking about how we can listen for potential changes, and that's done with a broadcast receiver. Wow, I did a lot of work actually. I probably did a lot of like copying and pasting, just like kind of scouring the internet and then copying pasting things that I think seem useful. Um, and then I think like generally like this is probably just standard code for using broadcast receivers. Which I still need to understand how it works, but this makes sense. We register a broadcast receiver like this, and that goes into the manifest file, and this is a class that is used to receive certain intents. Um, okay. It's a little bit unclear to me on how I'm supposed to send intents from from apps or receive intents from certain apps, but maybe that'll change this session. Another thing that I noticed is that we get this list of blocked apps, which makes sense. So maybe we'll pull up the UI mock here. But the blocked app list is going to be something that's generated from the current list of installed apps. So here we have just like a list of blocked apps, right? And this is generated from pulling the installed blocked lists. But here in the unblocked list, right? These are the apps that are currently blocked already. I think that this would have to be verified, right? So for example, like what if a user blocked Snapchat, right? But then Snapchat gets uninstalled. Does that app still belong in the unblocked, like still belong as a blocked app? A user can reinstall Snapchat, and if they reinstall Snapchat, should they? I think for that case, we should say we should have a little bit of a checklist. Um, um, we should also mark when the app was last verified, um, where a verification just means that when the list of installed apps were checked, the blocked app existed. And then the blocked app, I guess like session here would be like, I guess we could do like a date time. Yeah, probably a date time. Last verified or something. And a date time is just like a date class in Flutter. So this should be good. and we can say any blocked app that has a last verified date of greater than 30 days from from current day should be moved to a separate section called expired blocked apps, and should prompt the user with a button like, or should prompt the user with a suggestion like, these apps, like, we noticed that these apps are no longer installed but are still blocked. Please press this button to remove these obsolete apps. Not the best wording, but this is just something for the future. And let's just mark this as area of improvement, future area of improvement. Since this is something just to say like, hey, we thought about this, but we're not going to worry about this right now just because it's not our priority. Okay, so going back to Android Studios, I already opened up the app just to show you guys, but here is the manifest file. I don't really like Android Studios themes. I don't know how to make it better, but this is like slightly hard to read for me. Hopefully it's not super hard for you guys to read. But yeah, so you can like manipulate this manifest file to use certain permissions. And you can also do things so that it opens the settings menu when certain methods are triggered in a Kotlin file. So yeah, this is currently what I have. It's all a mess because I currently don't understand what most of it is doing, but here specifically in the battery level, which is an incorrect method name because I'm still playing around with it, we kind of just, I don't even think I use get battery level anywhere. I don't know what the right way to search for in. Oh yeah, we do use it. So we use get battery level, and then, oh, that's weird. Oh, I see. We use battery level when the call method is battery level, but we never do that. We always use get app list, and app list is down here, which gets the package name and returns it. And let's see if we can get that working. So here, here in our applets method back in Flutter, we call applets through the platform, and then the platform goes into Kotlin code, and Kotlin calls its version of getApplet. Also, apologies if you hear any voices in the back. I live in a very loud household, so sometimes it can be a little loud. I try to use noise suppression as best as I can, and hopefully that's good enough for you guys. Let me close out some things that I don't need. Okay, let's try and get something running to see if things work how I think they should work. Also, right now, this code currently crashes when I try to run it on a desktop because um, desktops have a different way of invoking a like an installed app list. I don't really know if desktops have like an installed app list um, in the same way that mobile apps do. So yeah, I think there's going to be it's going to be a very long way to get this to be multi-platformed. But yeah, let's try and get this to work. Let's see if this works off the bat. Gonna go ahead, take a little bit of time for this to run. It takes a while for um, Gradle to compile. Definitely one of the cons of mobile app development. Um, but yeah, hopefully I can get my ground after understanding like what exactly, like what else I need to do. Um, I mean, there's a lot that still needs to be done. Because after we get this list, we need to do a bunch of things. We need to, um, after the app list, we also need to find out how to get the usage time of each app. So that will be the next task. Um, so let's go ahead and write that as well. For things that we want to do. Yeah, so last time we worked on this was November 3rd. November 3rd was like a week or two ago. So yeah, it's been a while. So one thing to do, um, find how to get usage time of installed apps. All right, so right now we're able to get a bunch of these. Not exactly the format that I want, but it's there. We have Hello World. We have the calendar. We have YouTube Music. And we have User Dictionary. Now, oh, and you see here, it opens the setting of display over other apps because we didn't turn that off over here. We currently just have this to start the activity where the activity is to open the permissions, and we don't want that right now. So we'll comment this out. And in order to run this properly, I believe, we need to stop this completely and we need to run it back. And while that's going, I want to try and figure out how to get to the app menu. How do I get to the app menu? Oh, here. So we're looking for these apps here. So YouTube Music, we saw photos, maps, and we want to try and get the names of them specifically. Why is it still displaying? Oh, because I opened the Focus app by accident. It shouldn't be doing that when we reload this. It should just show our regular app and also the display values that we want for getting the app list. I guess during this time, I can also just continue writing what I need to do. So I think that's pretty much all we need to do. We have to find out how to get usage time of installed apps. we need to create the blocked app class, store it in local cache. Hopefully this doesn't take up too much memory. Right now I don't think it will, because I want to try and have things be dependent on local cache or local memory as much as I can. Just because things will run faster. I won't have to worry about database costs as much if things um are on the app itself. People won't have to worry about retrieving data. Um and I think it just works out a lot better, like in terms of user privacy and stuff, that I'm not holding any information that has to do with what apps they own or what apps are installed. That's all on their phone, it's all on their app, all private to them. And the company, the servers don't see anything like that. And the only thing that we should see is like something like a list of um maybe like a list of names or something to send over to um to other people who need to see which apps are installed. But even then, like, I don't think I really want to do that yet. um I think that's like future thinking, to let other people know when you block certain apps, like, hey, I'm currently focusing on this and I have these apps blocked, so that um people aren't like, why aren't you responding on Instagram? And then, they check the app and they're like, oh, you blocked the app, like you blocked Instagram while you were working. Okay, this is taking a while, so I'm just gonna keep continuing to work on organizing these tasks. We need to create the blocked app class, store it in local cache, and in a list. Um, and then after that, we need to create local cache. Well, I guess like even before um even before checking if like local cache and usage date. Oh no. Yeah. We also have some other stuff here. We need to populate the rows. Well, to populate the rows, we need to create the class, and we need to have yeah. Um yeah, because um we should say generate unblocked app list. This should never be cached. We want this to always be this will always be what's currently what's currently installed on a device, minus I don't like all caps, we'll do bold, minus the apps that have already been signified as blocked. But for now, we can focus on what is currently installed. For now, focus on what's currently installed. And then okay, so all right, so in this, I think the order needs to be changed a little bit. It's definitely to do this first. Yeah, so first we want to generate the app list, and then we want to do all this stuff. Um, so we need app icon we need um, usage time maybe. Like I think I want the order to be like this app name, usage time, and then a dot. So app icon, app name, usage time. That is the data that we need. So let's focus on that first. Let's focus on pulling that data in. Is this done? It's still going. Did I do something incorrect maybe? Definitely not. It's taking a really long time. I'm gonna try stopping it and we'll try building it again. It might have just been acting a little weird because I was playing around with the Android app itself. So we'll let that continue building. And we'll also start to look into our Android specific code. And we'll also clean some things up as well because right now there's no point in like, I know I was experimenting, but now there's really no point in having calls that I'm never going to use. This is specifically for battery level. So we can just remove this. You don't need battery level here. Okay, this worked. And as you can see from the list, which is not generated yet, it has a fake icon and fake names, but it doesn't open up the permissions like we had before because we commented it out. So let's look here and let's see what we got here. We were working on a bunch of different ways to have the package name. This is let's see. Okay, I'm pretty sure I was like testing this out, but I'm pretty sure that with this specific like way of using intents instead of just using the package manager to get the package, this loads things properly. Oh, what is? Oh, I see. It's just saying that there's 0 results. Okay, cool. So let's try this and see if we get a different output from this, from like com dot whatever. And while that's generating, we will also make sure that we have the package usage stats. So we have that. So this should help us for finding the usage data. We just now need to figure out how to write that in code. So this is how we get a list of app names, I believe. But we'll see in a second here. Yeah, see? So here we get camera, we get Chrome, we get settings, we get YouTube music, we get calendar, contacts, clock, YouTube, focus up, voice search, etc. We have Gmail. There's not many apps here, but this is like a good summary of it. If I were to leave this, whoops, and I was to scroll up, I wonder if this is like 4, 8, 12, 16, 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, 19 minus like, there's probably something missing, like probably files. Oh no, files is here. I'm not exactly sure which one is missing, or maybe I miscounted, but it's close enough. It's detecting most things. So I'm not complaining at all. Okay, so now that I think that pretty much catches me up with what I was doing before, and also gives you guys a little bit more light into what I was doing specifically outside, like definitely more specific to a time lapse. So now, um, I think what's important is we want to get other forms of information. So now we need the app icon and an app name. There's not really a way to show the icons. I mean, there is, but I mean to display them. What would be a way to display them? Let's focus on what exactly we're bringing in here. So this is load label. Retrieves a current textual label with this item to load the label from an application. Okay. I wonder if there's a way info dot activity info. Let's see what else they have here. Application info. Should we try doing that? Global information. We can try this. Let's try to add this. And let's see what this gives us. Application info. Hopefully it gives us something good. Make sure this is saved. All right, let's give it a go. And usually I'll play around like this for a little bit and see if I can get something to work. And after I eventually fail or don't know what I'm doing more than I already don't know what I'm doing, then I go to the internet and ChatGPT, and we'll probably get there in a little bit. And if this takes too long, like when building, sometimes I'll even like start searching while waiting. Let's see here. So application info, we get some ID and we get com dot, so the package name. So nothing too helpful from the application info. Is there anything better we can ask for? Config changes, permissions. Theme, UI options. Oh, icons. Should we try to I don't think we can get the icons or the logos that easily. These are integers. So I don't think we can necessarily get that easy. That's probably something to search up. Like, how do we get an image from a list of apps? Oh, load icon. Oh, load icon, load logo. Whoa. Okay, so we'll probably be doing these. Let's see, the first thing that I want to try doing is I want to try searching up like Android, how to get usage app usage data or something. Code. Sometimes if you don't add code or something, it'll give you like how to get your apps in the settings, like in a settings menu. All right, let's see. Very confusing here. Activity classes, layouts. Last time used. I'm very confused on how this, okay. Uh, we can use android.app.usage.usagestats. This is a little confusing. Oh, here. Cool. This person gets the application name. Package stats. Let's see what they use for package stats. Okay. Package stats is they get it from stats.get, and stats ends up being stats.size. Oh, stats is more above. Okay, stats is here. List of usage stats, interval best, usage stat manager. Okay. So you have to create a calendar, and then you have to, okay. You need to create a calendar and then put a calendar into a usage stats list, which generates a list, and apparently a usage stats also has its package name and everything. So maybe we can just try this for now. I don't know why there's such a need for, okay, this is for display order time and also just a bunch of other stuff that we don't necessarily need. So let's try to, let's do a completely different like function, because this is gonna get messy, I think, since we're experimenting so much. Get usage stats or something. Is that good? Okay, and then we have to return a list. We'll say a list of strings as well. We'll return list of strings. It seems like they're coding in Java. So we'll try converting all of that. And we have to import calendar. Does it matter which one? Not really. And what's this? M usage stats manager. Where's that? M usage stats manager. I hate reading some people's code sometimes. I also don't understand some like language jargon, like tutor and your list is empty, just add this request permission is completely valid, though you have to bear in mind that your application needs permission that you can't simply ask for. You have to redirect them, yes, and turn on. I've also noticed that every time I'm getting some change to the status, it is, if it is, I assume my application needs permissions for this functionality. Okay, I mean, that person, I mean, that's fine. Okay, I see. So this person did this, but we only need it here. I guess he uses it across the board. He also makes it an activity. So it's very interesting. I'm slowly understanding the usage of everything. M usage stat manager. Whoops. And where does he initialize it? He initializes it here. Does not have a companion object and thus must be initialized. Oh, how did I deal with this before? I don't think I'm doing this correctly. Where does this guy hold the he holds it in this usage stat activity. And I guess this would be like a companion or something. I just don't want to like completely copy it because I don't really understand what's going on. Did I write? I wonder if I wrote which. Okay, yeah, this is settings, usage, access settings. I should also like this should be like I should also make sure that I should have all the different types of intents, I guess, that are listed here. Perfect. These are going to be the ones that I need in the future, so I should just keep it commented out. And we can just like bring this back so it doesn't break anything. And now we're back to initializing this thing. Maybe there's a different what I also like to do is just copy this, see if we can get a different, like, cleaner version. All right, so uh, usage stats manager is a system service which provides access to device usage history and statistics. Cool. Now, is this how I create one? Awesome. All right, cool. That worked much better than the other code. And we also need I'm wondering because it says start millis and end millis, and I don't think these are constants. Why is my oh why is my enter key doing this? Why is it not what did I do? Oh, what is going on? This is why I hate other IDEs. Hello? What is going on? Why can't I use the enter key? Enter key not working. Android Studio. Press insert on your keyboard. Insert. Oh. Yeah. See, it sounds like that, where you just have to search it up. Save yourself some time. Yeah, see, this says that millis and start and end millis isn't used. So where is this person getting this from? All right, let me do this. Okay, the person doesn't. This person has nicer text, but doesn't even initialize the start and end of this milli variable. Maybe I could still follow it though, combined with this guy, because this guy did have starter values. He did start and end here, so we can just do that. So he did calendar add, and then we can do. Okay, we could just do what this guy did down here, which is query and aggregate. I don't think we need this. And what's this return? Oh, because it must be a list string. So we could just do string new. No, let me just do this. How do I create an empty list of string? How to create an empty string list in Kotlin. I guess this works. That doesn't work. Okay, list of string. Okay, so for some reason that need to be created like this. And then now we want to loop through it. So now this is relevant again. I'm getting a little bit brain block. All right, this says it's always false. I don't believe it, but that's okay. All right, we'll do variable expected. I guess because this is Java. Is that how you do it in Kotlin? Unresolved reference stat count. I'm confused. Oh, because the colon? I'm so confused. Well, yeah, it's unresolved. Like I'm trying to create you. All right. You want to play that game? You're going into you're going into a bot. Sometimes just like learning a new language is just confusing. Kind of find a variable named stat count. No duh. This is likely because you have not declared it before using it. Do I have to like I don't understand. Do you want me to do this first? And then like what do you want me to do after that? This is so weird how it's initialized. So it just wants it like this. Okay, so this is how we initialize variables. And I guess I just never noticed because I used val. And val's not that good because it's like a dynamic case. It doesn't exactly tell you what the class is. Okay, so colon, int, and then size. All right, I'm glad I figured that out. And now we want to loop through this and we want to get the package name. So we'll just copy and paste this and we will translate it over and we will see what necessarily we need to do. This is definitely package manager and it's asking for all right, it's asking for this. No, get application info. Okay. So what does it say to use instead? Use get application info string package manager dot application info flags. Package manager dot app what the dot application info flag. How do I do it? It's package manager dot package dot package. Is it info flags like this? I need to hover over it. Application info flags. Does that work? Dot of zero? Cool. And then we have a load label example. All right, this one is just package manager. That seems to work. And then we have a map, which we don't care about. We don't want a map. And we don't want existing stats. Package stats dot package name. I don't want the list. I just want the stats. All right, so map dot get. Okay, and if it's so this is a hash map of existing stats, and if it's not existing, when it gets it, it puts it in there with the package stats. Okay, and package stats in this case is the usage stats. Okay, so in this case, we don't really want any of this. What we want is we have the label, and so now we want to just do list.add. Do we have a list? We don't have a list. We should just, let's just instantiate it at the beginning. And this should be list.add, right? and we just add whatever we want. So we can add package stats dot let's see what they get. They get app name, last time used, usage time. Usage time, convert, view by ID, R. Where's R? R is random. Oh boy, I'm not gonna find it. Jeez. Well, there's this R that has an ID last time used. Let's see if we can find with the holder package that dot usage time. Okay, maybe that's it. Dot usage dot. Let's see if we can find usage time. We have last timestamp and we have last time used. Total time in foreground might be it. And we could say to string Kotlin, how to combine things. Okay, I felt like it was the plus operator. So we'll try plus, or we'll do it in the beginning, actually, because we want this to be like this plus, and we do label, because we want this to be like app name, time used, and after this we can return list, right? Okay. And the only thing left now is to do an else if, and we can do like that. Hold up, method equals list equals result dot success list, right? Okay, cool. And the only thing left is to see if this works. And whether it works or not is a question for a different day. So let's try this out. Right, everything's closed. Give it a go, see if it works. All right, hopefully we get some information. Oh, let me do get. I forgot to change the. The call or the caller. All right, we are not getting anything back, which means that that this isn't doing anything. And it probably isn't doing anything because we need to do something like this. It's not pulling the right. Oh, you know what it might be? We're not getting anything because there's currently because we're not letting access be granted. And let's try to do this. Let's import this. Do this. And let's give it a go again. And if this doesn't work, we'll kick it for another time. Okay, so focus app, allow. Oh, what is this? Okay, I think this is just random information, so let's try to refresh it maybe. Ah, yes, there you go. Okay, perfect. Oh, and we have phone here, Pixel launcher. Now the biggest test would be if we can do like, oh, it won't show us. Okay, yeah, perfect. Focus up is like the highest amount of time among everything because we spend the most amount of time in it. But 406. So like for example, right? Let's say YouTube, like we didn't use YouTube at all. So let's try to do this. Let's load up YouTube. I'll put let me just hold on. Phone's bugging out a bit. We'll put a minute on the clock here. And what we'll do is we will wait and I guess I'm kind of giving free advertisements on YouTube here. Let me swipe it up. It's a little concerning that that these are the videos that I get randomly, but we'll leave it. Okay, wow. Yeah, this is very this is not connected to my account at all, but we'll give it like 30 seconds like that. And there you go. Let us close the app. And if we were to refresh this, YouTube should now have time if this is truly recording usage time. Nice, cool. All right, this is in milliseconds, so that's why the number is so big. But I'm really happy with this. This is a huge win. Thank you guys for joining. I hope that you enjoyed the content and listening to me think and figure things out. The progress was a little bit slow because I was getting back into it, but I'm happy that I'm finally caught back up. I'm happy that I finally jumped back into it. And if you liked it, and you want to see more videos and you want to continue learning with me, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.